You are born in 470 BCE in a limestone village outside of Sparta. Your first scream is inspected like a product sample. Elders measure your spine with a stare and a ledger of usefulness. At age 1, you survive a council nod, not kisses. Infants are weighed against rumor. Your family files you under risk. By age 5, they cut your toys to teach you pain. Playtime is replaced by endurance drills. You learn to keep your teeth for food, not comfort. Age 7, you enter the Agoge, not a school, but a system. Adults call it discipline. Kids call it the worst pay class ever. You run until your knees forget childhood. You learn to be less human by design. Age 9, cold becomes a teacher. Frost is a professor. You sleep without blankets. To graduate shame, your teacher praises efficiency, not imagination. Age 12, theft is training and punishment. You steal to prove cunning. You get caned to prove obedience. Authority uses cycles of reward and pain like a broken spreadsheet. Age 15, you spar without helmets. Bruises are status, not accidents. You learn the corporate language of war, metrics, quotas, promotion by blood. Age 17, mentors test loyalty. Betrayal is a curriculum topic. Friendships are judged for usefulness. Age 20, you become a citizen for hire. The state owns your sleep schedule. Conscription is yearly maintenance. You march as if you are a cog polishing the machine. Age 23, sex is rationed. Fatherhood is postponed. Men praise stoicism. They ignore the hollow where tenderness once lived. You numb that space with beer and bravado. Age 25, the mess hall is a classroom in Gossip. Gossip is policy. You learn who will snitch and who will trade favors. Age 27, a rival breaks your arm in practice. You heal and smile. The injury becomes a line on your performance review. Age 30, you train new recruits. You teach them to count deaths like wins. You normalize cruelty by calling it efficiency. Language becomes lubricant. Age 33, the state rewards obedience with land and paperwork. You get a field and a ledger. Responsibilities bloom like brambles. Freedom is a new form of duty. Age 35, you witness an execution. It feels like a quarterly report gone wrong. The judge ticks boxers. The crowd treats it as theater. Spectacle hides incompetence. Age 38, a comrade deserts. You sign his absence as treason and sleep better for it. The ledger thanks you with a promotion. Age 40, you marry for alliance, not love. Your spouse keeps a list of favors and debts. Intimacy becomes negotiation. Age 43, the Agoge's ideals leak into your home. You teach your son to swallow hunger. You are both teacher and product. Age 46, plague hits a neighboring village. Your commanders trade men like currency. Compassion is logged as inefficiency. Age 49, you are wounded in a raid. Bandages are rationed. Superiors note decreased output. You smile behind a grimace and keep the ledger clean. Age 52, your son returns with a limpant. A question. He asks if this life is a choice. You tell him it is honor, because truth collapses strategies. Age 55, youth arrives thinner and louder. New philosophies whisper about cities and artists. The old rules look brittle. You mock them publicly and fear them privately. Age 58, you bribe an official to keep a compliment in your record. Paperwork becomes armor. You learn that ink can mask rot. Age 61, arthritis makes your spear a heavier promise. You teach numeracy to your grandson. You hide doubts and stories about glory. Age 64, a law reduces training but increases taxes. The market shifts. The state asks for more and gives less. Age 67, a battle goes poorly. You return with fewer names in your ledger. The council writes you into a report. Age 70, Your body is slow. Your mind is sharp. You count favors like savings. Your son calls you proud and distant. Age 73. You die at home with dried olive jars. The state stamps your death as heroic in a ledger. The epitaph is brief. You were efficient, not noble. You learned efficiency first, conscience later. You traded tenderness for survival skills. You normalized brutality by packaging it as tradition. You watch rhetoric call sacrifice glory. You name it, paperwork, and keep a private list of small rebellions. A here-done loaf here, a spared sparrow. These are your unsanctioned line items. You pass that ledger to someone who will bend the rules better. Your son burns one page, keeps another. Small skills spread like seeds. Your legacy is messy and practical. It outlasts official memory. In the end, the state wanted obedience, not glory. You obeyed, they won. You lost. History records the outcome and nothing else.